Rural America is really not what it used to be. Things are changing too fast now. You can't just get a job and make $15 an hour and have a life where you can take care of your family.
More and more schools are waking up to the fact that they've got to redesign to prepare students for their future rather than our past. Being from Roscoe, being such a small town, you know the people, you know the kids.
This being a rural city, we have a lot of people that are not quite as financially advantaged.
As I became superintendent, our disadvantaged students would do really well in school, good grades and good test scores. But for many of those students, walking across that graduation stage was a little bit like walking off a cliff. The best part of their life was now behind them.
We need to find something we can do better than our neighboring schools, something we can hang our hat on, find our niche.
And that's why part of the reason why the U.S. is constantly pushing math and science, because those are the two things that grow your country, is math and science.
It's our responsibility, I think, as educators to try to move them to a better life. Because if we don't do this, who's going to?
We had been declining in enrollment since 1995, and so got to looking at what can we do to reverse that dynamic and change the future for Roscoe.
It's a top-tier academic school, but it's also a trade school for high school kids.
Texas can't fill half of the STEM jobs because of an uneducated workforce. And so that is really the reason that STEM is such a buzzword. That's where the jobs are.
We start them off as 7th graders, and they pick their pathways. We start welding with them their 8th grade year. By the time they're seniors, they get out of here and they know what they're doing.
Being around the vet clinic is definitely something I've wanted to do since starting here at school. Growing up and coming to Roscoe when our horizons are expanded and the clinic was an option, and I was more drawn to that than anything. It's just wonderful. I love it here.
High school kids can get one of 4 certifications. In my program, they can either get their drone license or they can become Adobe certified in Photoshop, Premiere Pro, or After Effects.
In EduMake-It, they have a manufacturing class which they are learning how to actually draw whatever design they are wanting and actually put it on the machine and cut it themselves.
I was 11 years old. I got diagnosed with leukemia. I had 2 nurses that really impacted me while I was going through chemotherapy. They made me realize that I wanted to do the same thing for children, and now I'm on my way to becoming a nurse.
We need to not have just a purely academic model. There needs to be that real-world relevance that comes from workforce readiness. A more highly educated rural population is what will lead to the innovation that leads to rural job creation.
To me, that's what true education should really be. It should be focused on academics, but also focusing on what trade, what industry do you want to get into whenever you leave high school.
We figured out a solution how to break generational poverty through higher education, and we're interested in helping anyone and everyone that would like to reduce the time to get that done.
Leaving Roscoe, I was able to graduate with an associate's, and that allowed me to get my teaching degree within a year of being graduated from high school, and that allowed me to teach at 19.
If it wasn't for Roscoe, I probably wouldn't be pursuing a career in vet science, which I'm very grateful for because this is exactly what I want to do.
All my college will be paid for by Hamlin. It's going to be a big plus to my life.
With me, it's always been about winning, and when I was a coach, I knew what winning was. You either had more points or you crossed the finish line first. And so I say all the time, we're interested in the highest student outcomes in the nation for all students.
I've already come out with my doctorate of physical therapy. I'm still here in Sweetwater. I came back to work at the hospital and hopefully take over director.
Never in my life did I ever think this would happen. I'm very proud of him, and so is his father too.
Yo les diría a los jóvenes que tengan muchas ganas de estudiar y si se proponen una meta, le echen muchas ganas al estudio y algún día lo van a lograr. Y así como lo hizo José, muchos lo pueden hacer, todos pueden hacerlo. Si se lo proponen, pueden llegar a hacerlo también.